There, welcome to my channel. I am Freba and today I'm excited to show you how to knit a foldable neck warmer. We will dive right into the project. For the stitch pattern, I will be making videos soon to explain it in more details. But for now, I will give you a few quick tips on that. If you are a beginner, be sure to check out my basic knitting tutorials on the channel first, as we won't be covering the basics here today. For this purple neck warmer, I used bulky yarn and a size 9 US needles, 5.5 millimeters. However, for this sample, I'm switching to a finer yarn. This is 50-gram polyester yarn from Crafters Square. Since I will need about 80 gram, I'm gonna switch to a different color of the same yarn later. I'm also be using 4.5 millimeter needles. That's 7 in US sizing. For the purple neck warmer, I cast on 51 stitches, but for this sample, I cast on 61 stitches because the yarn is finer. This strip pattern requires casting on a multiple of 3 plus 1. So you can adjust your stitch count by calculating the multiple of 3 and adding 1 extra stitch for finer yarn. As you see, I have knitted about 7 centimeters here. I'm quickly gonna show you how to make the pattern. The pattern is based on a rib stitch, 2 purls and 1 knit as the base. I pick up my edge stitch. Then for the first 2 stitches of the pattern, you purl as usual. When you reach the knit stitch, instead of knitting into the stitch directly, you will grab the yarn beneath the lower leg of the knit stitch from the row below. For the very first row, however, you will need to grab the lower leg of knit stitch itself. In subsequent rows like this one, you will grab the yarn beneath the lower leg to form the pattern. Place it on your left needle and knit through the back loop. It's really important to knit through the back loop or the pattern won't look right. Then just transfer the original knit stitch to the right needle without knitting it. And you're going to repeat these steps for the entire row. As I mentioned before, I will put another detailed tutorial on this stage. If you want, you can go check that one. I'm going to finish this row and I will be back with the return row. Now we are at the return row. Let's take a look at how to work this row. I start by picking up the first stitch and then I have 2 knit stitches that I'm going to knit them. Next, I have knit stitch from the previous row along with the original knit stitch that was transferred. Now I'm going to purl these 2 stitches together and make sure the yarn is underneath the needle, not over it. And that's it for the return row. You're going to keep doing the same thing, 2 knits and then purl 2 together. I will finish this row and will be back with the next steps. From here on out, I will be increasing 1 stitch at the beginning and 1 at the end of the row until my piece reaches to 19 centimeters. Okay, let's start increasing. I'm gonna pick up my edge stitch, then I will do yarn over and we'll continue with the pattern. On the return row, I will follow the pattern and will decide whether the stitches are knit or purl. I'm gonna keep continue on doing my row. It's important to note that I only will increase stitches on the right side row, not on the return rows. And after I have added 3 stitches that will be on 6 rows, I can create the new pattern from those stitches. Okay, here is the end of the row. I have 1 stitch left. I'm gonna increase 1 stitch here before my edge stitch, yarn over and knit the last stitch. On the return row, I will look for the pattern next to the yarn over and see what we're gonna do. So as you see here, I have 2 knit stitches. So right next to those knit stitches, it should be purl stitch. So my yarn over will be purled. I'm gonna continue doing this for the rest of the row, and I will be back with the rest. Okay, now I have finished enough rows and have switched to a new color. Since my other skein was done, I switched to this white one. If I measure my piece, it's about 19 centimeters. At this point, I will drop 15 stitches from each side, which that will be around 9 centimeters from each side. Yeah, it's gonna be about 9 centimeters from each side. So I'm gonna finish this row and come back. Okay, here at the beginning of the row, I'm going to bind off 15 stitches. Okay, as you see, I knit and then I pull it over the new stitch. I have knit 2 together. I'm gonna do that and then pull the first stitch over it, and that drops my stitches. I'm gonna keep continuing this for about 15 stitches, and that will be about 9 centimeters. Okay, now I'm at the beginning of the next row. As you see, I have already dropped 15 stitches in the previous row, and here I'm gonna drop another 15 stitches from beginning of this row. Okay, now I'm done decreasing on both sides. From now on, I'm gonna decrease 2 stitches at the beginning of each row. So I'm doing my pattern and then yarn over again, 1 more, and that's dropping 2 stitches at a time. So I will do this at the beginning of each row. It means one at right side and one at the return row until I'm done to 7 stitches. I'm now left with 7 stitches. So I'm going to bind off all of them. I pick up the edge stitch. Then I prefer to use a knit stitch for the purl stitches at the end, as it gives a cleaner finish. And then I'm gonna pull it over and finish this row, all the stitches. And that's my last stitch here. Now I'm gonna pull that last stitch and then pass the yarn through that inside it, and then I will cut it off. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna cut a little with a little tail. You don't need lots of tail here. Next, I'll use a tapestry needle to tidy up the edge. I'll stitch back and forth a few times. Now we're ready to join the edges together. You only need to seam about 13-14 centimeters, not the entire edge, because that part will sit on the shoulders. Now we have finished the neck warmer. As you see, we have added some beautiful texture with the rib pattern. We're doing some increasing and decreasing stitches to create a nice shape. And here's the other one. You can fold it and wear it as a cozy neck warmer. If you find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more knitting tips and projects. Feel free to leave any questions or comment below. Thanks for watching and happy knitting time.